Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to stop caring about how other people think about you and live life freely. So let's get into it. So I just want to start this video off by saying that a lot of people actually struggle with caring about what other people think and they fear judgment. And honestly, it's not your fault at all. For me, I'm someone who used to struggle a lot with caring about what other people thought about me, especially because it was really hard for me to fit in. I felt very misunderstood by my peers. And I just felt like I needed to do what everyone else was doing in order to become like everyone else and live a life where it's like everyone likes me. But then on the other side, I'm doing something that is not aligned with me just so that I can please other people. And oftentimes there's a lot of younger people who like try to fit in because they feel like they're going to be judged. They won't be liked by other people or they'll feel misunderstood. We feel so anxious that if we do act like ourselves, then no one will accept us. And sometimes it's not easy for people to just say, oh, forget about it, just live the life that you want. But if that was the case, everyone else would be doing it. And even though it's normal for you to feel this way and you might not have the support to help guide you through these emotions, I'm just here to say that it doesn't have to control your life. Because on the other side of not caring about what other people think, you're gonna see so much abundance in your life. So many opportunities, so many things that you've always wanted, and you feel more free. And all of that is on the other side of when you stop caring about what other people think about you. Now, let's dive into some of the things that helped me stop caring about what other people thought about me. Number one is I started to shift my mindset. Instead of thinking about all the negatives and all the current thoughts that were going through my head and all these different scenarios and what ifs, I thought about the opposite. Like, what is going to happen on the other side when I stop thinking about what other people think about me? How free will I feel? How will life look like for me? Just me being able to get the life that I want as soon as I stop thinking about other people. And that way, the focus is more so on me and not others. Because at the end of the day, you need to seek validation from yourself. Because this all comes down to self acceptance and self love. And if you don't have that, then it's going to be really easy for you to cling on to the validation of other people. Number two is I like to analyze what someone is saying to me, and I like to see it from their perspective and think about where they're coming from. Is it coming from love or is it from criticism? For example, let's say that you're someone who wants to start a business and someone, let's say a friend of yours, is saying that you shouldn't get into it because it's too risky and a lot of people fail because of it. But your friend over here is someone who works a 9 to 5 job. They're always complaining about their job and they are just burnt out with their life. And just looking at it from that point, it's like this person doesn't have what you want because they're not someone who has a business. They're not someone who tried, and they probably see it from an outside viewpoint. It's probably not something that they've ever tried and probably wouldn't. So this is not the type of person who you would want to take advice from. A lot of people are going to be projecting their insecurities onto you if there's something that you want that they don't have because they haven't tried it or because they've seen other people do it. It's never from their experience. So I always like to be careful of who I'm taking advice from and always like to take advice from people who have the life that I want or take advice from them if they've had the experience from it. A lot of people are just going to project their insecurities onto you, and you just need to be prepared on who you're taking the right advice from. Number three is following what you believe is right. So this is kind of related to my last point. I'm not really someone who likes to listen to a lot of people unless it's someone who I want to take advice from. And honestly, you know yourself better than anyone else. And I strongly believe that you should be following your gut. A lot of people will disregard their intuition and make decisions through logic or facts. And this is like a lot of things that a lot of analytical people versus creative people do, which I'll get into in another video. And as someone who is creative and intuitive, I like to follow what feels right for me. And I believe that everyone else should do the same thing for either some or all situations because you know yourself better than everyone else. You should be able to determine what you want in your life and what you don't stand by. And whenever someone gets in the way with that, then it stops you from getting what you truly want and what you desire. So that's why I always recommend that you follow what you want, no matter what other people say. And number four is to surround yourself with positive and supportive people. I'm someone who has a very small circle now, and I'm very careful with who I bring into my circle because I don't want the energy to be off and only want to be surrounded by people who are aligned with my goals and we all have a direction to get to the next version of ourselves. When you're with these types of people, they will keep you in check. And since everyone is so aligned with each other and they have the same goals and the same direction, it's so hard for you to even care about what other people think because they're just so focused on becoming the best versions of themselves. These are the best types of people that you want to have in your life. And I'm just here to remind you that everyone is preoccupied with their life to be focusing on you. I know this is not a thing where you can just forget about everything the night before. It's going to require a lot of patience and a lot of self growth during this process. So, as long as you're self aware, you're putting in the work every single day, even if it's very minimal progress, that's better than feeling like you're stuck in this situation. Because I promise you that these thoughts are eventually going to pass, and eventually these matters will be so small to you where you're not even going to focus on what other people think because you've grown so much. Anyways, let me know if you guys have any questions, and I'll see you in my next video.